wanted to talk to the CEO of Dirty Boxing Championship, the one and only Platinum Mike Perry. There he is. Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's up, Ariel? I'm doing well. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. Congratulations on the first event. I went through all the rules there, went through everything. Can't wait to talk to you about it all. Before we get into the fun stuff, obviously around a month and a half or so ago, there was some not so fun news pertaining to yourself, and we haven't talked to you since. So just wanted to ask you about that, if there was any update on the legal proceedings, and if you wanted to, talk about it or update your fan base and the public about what went down.
Yeah, well, I appreciated what you had to say, and I just small troubles, nothing too severe, and definitely moving forward, being much better. Um, I was just driving a little aggressively, and got pulled over for it, and was angry when they asked me to get out of the car, and everything that ensued. I gave an apology for calling those guys out of their name. I support the police and what they do. Who's my mother or my wife gonna call if I'm not there, and they need some protection? So I definitely support that, and it's I already got a lot on my plate going on, and it's just more that I have to do now. In order to go through, maybe people don't know about this, but when you lose your license, and then there's law side, and then there's administrative side, and I got some classes I got to do, and just got to go through the details with everything, and it's costing me a little bit of money, and it was a waste, and got to be better moving forward and everything. I got too much going on, too much on my plate, and I need to stay focused, tunnel vision, handle my business as a professional. And I just uh, that's no way you want to get bored. You don't want to get bored and get yourself in trouble. So stay out of trouble, and follow the speed limit.
Yes, sir. Just one other follow-up on this. Are there any other dates or, any other sort of steps, timeline that is, coming up for you that you have to set aside time to deal with this so that you are free and clear to resume your life?
I'm pretty good about just handling things as they come. Every now and then it seems like a couple things will happen on the same day, and I might have to move one or two. I do got to make some calls and move some things around, because there are some things coming up in January that are not solidified yet, and it's like, how long do we wait? We got to push everything to the last minute, and you got to be prepared to just make sacrifices and do what you need to do, and put things in a priority order, what's most important. And I just try to stack them all on the calendar and get them done one at a time.
When you talk about January, are you referring to Knucklemania 5?
Well, I would like to fight. You know, there's there's some interesting folks out there trying to make matchups and challenges, and bare knuckle has a good one on a good challenge for me, and
Oh,
and I would love to see that come to fruition. I would love to get back in the ring, and a bit of redemption. Bare knuckle is, I'm good at it. I'm tough. My head will hurt your hands. My hands will hurt your face. And going through the rules of a boxing match like I did last time. And trying to redeem myself in the boxing ring when I've always been a different kind of fighter. I've seen some things, even Jorge Masvidal was saying, are we talking a real fight or are we talking we write all the rules down until, if it's a street matchup, if it's a bar brawl, oh, sign me up, man. Put me in there and I'm ready to get wild and I want to redeem myself anyways in combat sports on the side of fighting as I move on to promotership, um, so that I'm good on both sides of that. And, it was incredible seeing someone like Yoel. How is that guy 234 pounds? We were like the same size. He's just so solid. And I think, he's the age that Jake would like to try. I think that's a possible matchup they should possibly make, man, with Yoel Romero versus Jake Paul. And my brother, mi hermano Joey, would put a whooping on Jake for me.
So when they came out, and we're gonna get to Dirty Boxing, but we just took a left turn here real quick. When they came out with the Knuckle Mania news, I was like, well, Mike, you are the face of BKFC. You have to be on that card. So is it basically down to there is an offer on the table, you just have to see if it's going to work out, that you're going to be able to go to Philadelphia? And A, is that accurate? And B, could I ask, is there an opponent attached to this offer? And could you tell us who it is?
I cannot tell you because it doesn't seem, like I don't know if he wants to accept the challenge. I don't know what's taking so long. I know David Feldman wanted to bring me to Philadelphia for the first ever bare knuckle card in Philadelphia. He's been wanting to bring it home. And I know he would want to have me on the card, being as I am the most exciting bare knuckle fighter that people tend to tune in to watch. And, who knows if it'll be pushed? I possibly was going to fight before the end of the year. That got pushed. That was fine to me. January sounded really good. I would love to start the year off with a banger. And, depending on what happens, that I do have 3 fights left on my contract with bare knuckle. I would love to fight those fights. And 2025 might be an even bigger year for me, as big as all the years have kept growing for me. 2025, bare knuckle, everything's been real quiet. Nothing much has been said, but, the fans know that I need to come back in there.
And so that would confirm you have not been fired by bare knuckle, right?
That's a funny little joke that we seem to talk about every time I get on camera. Do you guys think Conor McGregor's done making money? Because you need me in bare knuckle if we really want to make a splash.
All right, that would confirm it. Okay, so let's see what happens with January 25th. Now we go back to Dirty Boxing. Like I said, I was there. It was the night before the Jake Paul fight. You made the announcement. You had the press conference. We had a bit of a hiatus, so I've actually not had you on the show. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about all of this since the summertime. And so could I ask, when did this idea start? Like, how did this all come about, you being involved with Dirty Boxing, being the CEO? I know you've got Abe there. You've got Adam Kovacs, formerly of Karate Combat. You've got Kawa, Malky, and the other Malky. You got the whole FRM crew. How did this all, what's the genesis of it all?
We have a great squad put together. I believe this started a couple years ago. I believe media was asking me such questions as, if you weren't a fighter, what would you be doing or what would you want to do? And I believe I said promoting. I've always had this, with my neck tattoo. That's a P and a P, Platinum Promotions. To be a Dana White type of guy who's just living his best life and gets to throw on the fights. I've always loved going to the fights. When I'm there, I want to get in on the action, but also just sit back and enjoying the action that the fighters are putting on. the all the guys and girls gave me great respect at the show. They were excited to perform, and you know, I've had lots of interviews and talks and lots of questions kept coming up in the past couple years. You know, what would I be doing? How would I do it? What would I want to see if I was Dana White or if I was a promoter making a fight league? And you know, it was possible that things were going to be bare knuckle even, and you know, I put the rules together. I thought as we had meetings with the team down in Malky's office in Miami, uh, we put things together, and I said it should be this way. I said I think we'll get great fighters if we put small gloves on. We have a chance to reach a different audience and a different group of athletes as far as boxers themselves. They just put a little smaller glove on. They probably want to try it out, see how punching somebody like that would be. Um, I went to Russia. I saw it live, you know, and they were boxing with 4-ounce MMA gloves on, and I put these ideas together. You know, I said with my MVP fight, when I dropped him in the first round, I wanted to keep hitting him because he's so tough. And, you know, I didn't want to just let him back up. I wanted to try to keep hitting him. And I thought that if we get a knockdown with a good strike, there should be a chance to follow up ground and pound uh, to finish your fight. And, um, you know, adding elbows to boxing. Also, you know, this is just such a treat for the fan base. Uh, the way that the fights go, and all the action, the power punches, they're slipping and rolling and throwing big hooks. And if they wobble their opponent and they're guarding too heavy, you can elbow straight through the guard, up the middle. And if you drop them, you ground and pound them. The kicks slow it down, in my opinion. I think this has a real shot to be so popular.
I love the name and I love the concept. And I actually, I know some people were kind of upset on Saturday that it wasn't streaming live. And I think that comes from a place of they wanted to consume it. But I think it was kind of brilliant on two fronts. It created an appetite for it. It created buzz. And then once the clip started to come out, the look of the event reminded me of like an old 1920s boxing warehouse smoker type vibe, which I thought was super, super cool. And so could I ask, and we're seeing some of the highlights here, and this is Yoel, picking up the huge knockout win in the main event. I'll ask you about him, but just the idea of putting it on, closing it off to, a streaming platform to the public, making it a sort of exclusive event. What went into that, and then also the look of it all? What went into that? How did you fall on this? Because I think you guys nailed it with how it came across.
You know, we had a lot of good people in the building, and we were happy to have them there. You know, we wished we could have invited everyone or streamed, but it was a concept, and we needed to showcase to see if it works. And I think it works, and trust me, we want to share this with people, but there are some things we have to tweak, and we only want to release the best. And because all these people involved we're all for high quality. You know what I mean? Not quantity. We don't want to just shove crap down your throats. We want to make a very quality product. We were able to put on a good show, but there are some tweaks we need to make, and we want to come back in 2025, early 2025, and have our first live streamed show. Depending on how that works and who we're going to work with. In order to do that, we are talking with some big names, big companies, And we just want to deliver the best possible quality product to the fan base so that, we become a force to be reckoned with. And, waiting until the last minute to announce our main event because we knew we had such a quality name in the main event, and he performed so greatly. It was exactly what we were looking for, and every fight was better than the last. The whole night just kept growing and growing and getting better and more intense and more quality on the matchups. And I think our matchmakers did a great job. Who put the card together? The um, CEO Adam Skovacs. We're very happy to be working with him. Um, and he's been a quality partner in dealing with, and we had the old school boxing look, a street dirty boxing style. We wanted to make it feel like we wanted it to show, like the smoky effects, the nightclub style fight, um, just a quick intensity of moments. And that's another thing I believe I had a hand in coming up with the time frames of the fights and the matchups. We stuck it at 3-minute rounds, um, 3 3-minute rounds, and 5 3-minute rounds for the main event. Um, and we're happy with what we got out of everything, but there are some adjustments we need to make, some things that we couldn't have known about until we put on the show, some additions we need to add as far as lighting, um, scale, how to make it more scalable, and just how to deliver it to the masses.
By the way, can I just say as an aside, as someone who has the ugly habit of biting his nails for his whole life, I can't stop staring at your nails because they're so like perfect and long. Like I just want to bite them all off. Is that weird? A little bit.
That is extremely weird that you said you want to bite my nails
I
off.
mean, how do you keep them that long? I mean, that's just. Are they ripe for a cutting or
Well,
what?
I have good quality calcium in
Okay.
my blood and my bones, and so my nails get long. When they get longer than this, I clip them down, but then they'll grow back out in a few days. And it's nice if I ever have an itch I need to scratch, or want to scratch my wife's back or
Sure, sure.
something like that. It's pretty nice.
They're just so long and like perfect.
And if I get into a street fight, I would
That's true.
jag somebody's eye out.
Would you fight with nails that long, or do you have to cut them before?
Remember my debut?
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes. Okay,
I
so
just
this
shove them off real quick. I didn't mean to do that. It wasn't on purpose.
but it's
But
so satisfying, right?
and in boxing, when you put your hand in the glove, the nails really dig in
Oh,
there.
geez.
You can hold that glove real tight.
Yes. Okay, back to Dirty Boxing. Do you think the next one will be available live to the public?
Yes, early next year. I don't know I don't know. I think it's a 50-50. It's a little more 60-40 right now. 60%, yes, we're going public with it. We want to share it with the world. At the same time, we got a lot of money coming to us for private endorsements,
Wow.
uh, private shows, club tables, owners events, and things like that. Depending on how we would use that to make money, you know, that's the idea. But I believe we want to definitely give it to the public, um, or even offer pay-per-view for the public. I think it could be a very quality product that they would enjoy watching. It's a very entertaining style of combat.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We saw a bunch of it, and I'm just curious. Florida Commission sanctioned this?
Absolutely. shout out to the Florida State Athletic Commission. The referees did a great job in there protecting the fighters, and the all the judges and everyone who was involved. We all had a great time enjoying the show. It was it made us feel a little special that it was a private event, but
Yeah.
we did share a ton with the public as far as social media goes. They didn't get to necessarily watch it live. We did speak about we were going to attempt to make a stream that night, at least one of the fights, and I was saying, the main event would be the one to do it with, but I don't think that was able to come through in time. Everything kind of just happened so quick, and then the world got to see it anyways.
I think
We were happy to see a 47-year-old Yoel Romero
yeah.
looking like he does. What a tank!
He's a specimen. And I can let people know, here's a little plug, that there's a behind the scenes docu-series called Down and Dirty that's live right now, I'm told, on the Dirty Boxing Championship YouTube channel. You guys have been putting out some great stuff there. So for those that want to see more of the behind the scenes, how this all went down, and more footage from that night, there are 5 episodes out right now. Season finale comes out on Friday with more behind the scenes access from this past weekend's event. So that is the Dirty Boxing Championship YouTube channel. You had a lot of luminaries there. John Jones, Ben Rothwell, Paige Van Zandt, Jarrell Miller. Must have been nice to have some of your fellow fighters and FRM clients in attendance, you and John in particular. I also saw you taking some body shots from Ben, like scale of 1 to 10. How hard was he going?
That wasn't the first time me and Ben were punching on each other. I believe Njoku was in the house too. We got a lot of great support from a lot of great people. FRM is very well connected, and we were happy to give them all a good show. Big Ben always, you see how when those punches, he was pushing me with the shot. He's
Yes.
so heavy. I mean, but I was eating them shots, and I did it with him before, and one of them finally got through. But I tried to hit him a little harder this time, and then I still had work to do, so I shut that one down quickly. What's with all these heavyweights trying to fight me, man? There's weight classes. Um, I guess it's just the Platinum Perry name. Yes, though, please go watch Down and Dirty on the Dirty Boxing Championship YouTube channel. Down and Dirty is a great uh, 6-part series, I believe we put together, of about 16-minute episodes of us building the show prior to the release and things like that. We got Roy Jones Jr. on there. He's a part of the company as well. He wasn't able to make it to the event, but he'll definitely want to be at the next one.
Speaking of the next one, I remember in July when you were talking about this, you said that you would compete on one of the cards. If things don't work out with Knucklemania, do you think that your next fight will be under the Dirty Boxing umbrella?
That's a tough call. I would love to do my get some things going with my bare knuckle contract, especially with all the fans talking about uh if I was fired or not. Like, I need to, like, you guys bare knuckle, come to bat for your boy over here and get me a dang fight. So I'm not out here looking silly because we want to get these fights through on the contract, and I want to put on entertaining events for the fans. I mean, bare knuckle does have a spectacular uh je ne sais quoi when I hit people in the jaw, and I mean, 2 minutes, fast paced, very exciting bare knuckle stuff. I would love to do it, but after watching Dirty Boxing, I was very intrigued to want to join in on the action and get in the ring and fight there as well. So I think I'm just itching to get back in a camp, get to training full time again. I get it here and there. I was going hard last week, and then I think I got sick. I don't know, but I had to take a couple of days off, and then all the business stuff came through, and I had a lot of things I needed to take care of. But I would love to get back full time twice a day in the gym and have something to prepare for. I would just need, just an opportunity, guys. Let's do it, and I want to showcase my skills to the world again.
By the way, being in that promoter slash CEO role, not just from like a photo op standpoint, it's fun to see you in between the fighters when they're facing off, but just all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes when you're putting on an event. Now that it's come and gone, um, I can imagine it's very, very stressful and there's a lot to deal with, and it will only get more stressful as you continue to grow. Did you enjoy it? You've been now on both sides of the fence, right? Just the fighter, you walk into the arena, you fight, you leave, you cash your check, but now you're doing a lot more and there's a lot more to worry about. Did you enjoy that role?
Yeah, I did. I think I was prepared for everything as it came. I have great help, and if you tell me, uh, if you help me understand what needs to be done, I can find a way to get it done. And once the show was there, it was happening, and it was all beautiful and coming together very nicely. Everyone involved, all the fans, all the audience, everyone was having a good time. I was happy to see all the smiling faces of everyone enjoying their night. And you know, it did. It was interesting because right after the event, it seemed like you think there's going to be a halting point or a break point where you get to rest for a moment, and it was more work. It was more work to do instantly. As soon as it was over, I had more work I needed to get done, and I still have some work I need to get done. So, more meetings, uh, more talks, more video calls, more Telegram, more messages that I need to, get to and reply to, and it's all setting up and building for the next one. As soon as the first one was over, it gave us avenue to see what we needed to tweak and how to make the most out of it and to drop it onto people so that they could enjoy it as well. So, you know, creating something that people want, supply and demand. Uh, they're demanding it. We got to supply it. So now I got more work to do.
So it's very hard to always have just kind of a smooth ride, smooth sailing. Part of the buzz on Saturday, I think, that worked in your favor was the fact that you put them out in these little clips. It was closed off. There was nothing really going on in the world of combat sports on Saturday night. Nothing really competing with you. UFC was in the morning, and then in the immediate aftermath, Karate Combat gets involved. And so, can I ask you? About this as much as you can speak on it. The president of Karate Combat, Asim Zaidi, saying that Anvar Boy Nasarov, who was involved in that fight with the Superman punch, signed with KC 3 weeks ago, and I saw him and Malki, your one of your managers at FRM, and obviously a part of the Dirty Boxing team, really going at it back and forth all day on Saturday and Sunday. Is there any sort of take on your side of the fence as to what happened here? Is he telling the truth, and where do things stand?
Okay, things with Anvar, we tried to work with Asim. I spoke with him on the phone. He kept trying to close the door in my face as far as getting that fight done. He offered something that the commission would not agree to. I offered him percentages of the purse. I offered him money to allow them to go through without a hitch, without all this animosity. And you know, he has Anvar on a contract apparently, or so he said, and they offered Anvar no fights, no money has been given to Anvar, and all of the sudden, last minute, they want to say that he had a fight coming in February when he had not been given a bout agreement or a contract for this fight. He had not been offered a matchup. But as soon as they found out that he was fighting for us, they're scared of us. They've added elbows to their rule set, which is great, but they did that because we were coming out with this sport. And you know, they have an issue because our CEO is someone who built their company. He built the company. They are doing anything they can because of money that is owed to some of our business partners, and they don't want to pay this money, so they're using any excuse they can build with this silly call out about, because if things go to court, if lawyers do get involved, then they don't want to have to pay you know over millions to the people, the partners that we have on our side. And we were taking all the attention, and I thought it was funny because what do they have, like over 1 million followers, and we're over here with 40,000 followers. So make sure y'all go follow Dirty Boxing Official on Instagram, where he said things such as, the more avenues for fighters, the better. The more opportunities that they have, the better. Then they try to lock people down, apparently. And, even the fan base was saying any exclusive contracts outside of the UFC is absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, uh, we went ahead. We're not to be pushed around, and we have a lot of powerful people involved in creating Dirty Boxing, and they are all fans of combat sports. And we wanted to give the fighters an avenue to perform and become stars. And I mean, Anbar has been fighting forever. I believe his record is like 90-30. And, we were trying to give him a show to showcase his skills, and the fight was great. It was a great matchup, and, it worked out. So I'm not sure where it goes from here. I believe there may be a public apology coming from their side.
Oh, wow.
That's what I've heard.
Wow. So essentially saying we're backing off.
Yeah, they had nothing to get attention from besides our show, and they weren't allowed to be there. There were some of their fighters were there in the audience, and I was hanging out with them, and I'm a fighter myself, so given these guys a chance to be greater, to showcase everything, all their talents, and all the hard training that they do in a sport that they want to compete in. That's what we're here for, and we want to deliver that to the fan base so that they can enjoy the entertainment.
All right, so let's see how that transpires. I did want to ask you about a video that I also saw from Saturday. I thought it was kind of joking, you and Tristan Ham, but then it seemed like it went from 0 to 100 real quick. Was that legit? What was going on there between you two?
Well, he asked me for a face-off, and then he starts moving his head on me, and then I'm promoting the show, so as I push him back and I see that table that was behind him was John Jones's group table and Icebag's group table, and I didn't want to throw him on that table and mess up all the setups that we had over there. So I stopped. I paused. If he wanted to make it a little aggressive face off, he's like, can we do a face off? I'm like, okay, sure. I follow him on Instagram. I know Tristan Ham. That was my first time meeting him, but I've followed some of his stuff. He's an influencer fighter, and he's trying to break the grounds of influencer to being recognized as this true athlete, true fighter. And I think I thought he made a face during the video, the face off, when I was grabbing him, where he was like, "Oh, he's kind of strong." And I didn't want to rip my suit or nothing. So we kind of calmed it down. Abe was there. He's with both of us. And, we want to fight. He wants to fight because he wants recognition and he wants to challenge himself. And, you know, to fight an influencer who has the followers. He talked about even possible bare knuckle. I don't know, and then bare knuckle shared it. Maybe they'd be interested in something like that. That would be at 175. I would prefer a 185-pound matchup in bare knuckle, as I just had a fight at 200 pounds not long ago, and you know I've performed well at 185. So depending, everybody wants to put all these things in the contract. They want to meet here, meet there, and they want to make things harder for someone to be able to compete. But I'm the name, I'm the face, I'm the show, I'm the fight in the fight world. So, let's meet up at some of my rules. And my rules aren't rules. They're more so less rules. I want less rules involved. I want less bullshit. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna beat your ass on fight night. That's what I want to do. So, you know, Tristan, depending on who wants to make it happen, they know who to call. First round management can handle all these cases. I don't have to do these things. I don't have to talk about these things. Well, I mean, I can talk about them, but I don't have to like get on the phone about the contract, getting to make it happen. I don't have to talk about the numbers. My numbers are, they can be found, and you got to pay. So, you want me to perform, you're going to get an entertaining show out of it. And, you know, just brutality at its finest, Platinum Mike Perry. We were just having a little fun there. And Tristan, he wanted to keep it PG-13, but I wanted to make it R. So.
Okay, let's see how that plays out. Last topic, because it is the first time that we speak since July. Could I just ask, some 4 months removed from the Jake fight, when you look back on it, what do you wish you could have done differently in that fight?
It's there were some things, like I wish I could have put on more weight, gotten over 200 pounds and cut. I tried so hard, but I also trained so hard that my weight just never went up. I was staying right around that weight, and I drank 7 glasses of water before I went and stepped on the scale just to be a couple pounds heavier. Like, I saw a breakdown video today where they were talking about, some positive things I did in the fight, and stopping the forced clinch from him, and hearing your commentary during the fight, like I needed to make it dirtier. And there were times when I came all the way back and I was in the fight and my energy wasn't great because I was utilizing my energy in certain areas to stay up on my feet. I was top heavy because of the heavy weight. My legs, I wish I would have ran some sprints. I needed more time to get more road work in and have my legs adjust to the top heavy weight that I added on because I had never fought at such a big weight class. Um, the first fight I've done in the last 3-4 years that I wasn't drug tested, which was very interesting to me considering Jake Paul and everything he had coming up with the Mike Tyson. I stepped in and I got to step in for Mike Tyson, and it's like, whether I felt ready or not, I've had other fights that I wasn't sure, I didn't know if I was ready for, and I fought my ass off anyways, and was able to get the wins. And Jake did a good job. He had his footwork, he had his team, he moved his legs well. His legs were able to handle that body weight, and then he goes from weighing in at 200 pounds and he weighs in at 226 for Mike Tyson, who Mike Tyson didn't get knocked down, but we went the same amount of time. I got stopped right there at 16 minutes, and And that was the longest fight I ever had in my professional career. And you know,
By the way, sorry to interrupt, but no pee test, no nothing, no urine test. Wow.
nothing. There was no drug testing that happened in that fight, which I asked for. I was like, no, I want them to drug test. I want them to come to me and test me so that I know that they're testing him. But I've also, heard things like whatever he might be on in order to put on the weight. Because he fought Nate Diaz, he fought Silva at 185, and somehow he's put on all this weight. That maybe he's just eating, but I've eaten. Like, I eat, and I just couldn't gain weight and stay in shape at the same time. And like, it's not such a big guy, and I thought I could make it dirtier. And if I did, I threw him on his head. The ref was on me. Or even when I broke the clinch and punched him in his ear, the ref's like the back of the head. They're like, that was a clean shot, bro. That's a clean fight, And dirty boxing. Jake even said, we do PFL and we do dirty boxing. A chance to punch him on the ground, a full MMA fight, a full fight, like, it's a different story. And I had the abilities to be in close with him. And in boxing, when you're in the clinch, they're trying to shut that down right away. Or Jake, if he clinched me, he tried to hold me, and I was really good at not letting him get that hold. But then there was times that I saw as we would break, I just didn't have the speed to take off with little flurry combinations. And or even bare knuckle, like, there's just different styles of fighting. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to grasp success in boxing when I am quite the boxer, and I train boxing at the gym, I spar, but then when I fight, it's like I take the gloves off. Or even MMA, like, I used to knock people out cold in MMA, and even sometimes I wouldn't have to follow up with ground and pound, but putting my weight on people. And he was the bigger, heavier guy, but I still handled his weight. I walked him down no matter what he had hit me with. I came forward. I pressed the action. And I just, it was an opportunity for me. So whenever I felt like I needed more time, that was just never something that I could never have called them and been like, oh, you know what, it turns out I'm not ready for this matchup. No matter what fans have said, oh, I shouldn't have done it. Like, I'd rather not be a pussy and do it than be a pussy and not do it. Like, I'm fighting this kid. I'm going to fight him. And it was short notice. It was like less than 4 weeks when they called me to make the replacement. And I started trying to put on weight and get in shape all at the same time. Like, I just needed more time, but it was time I didn't have. And, he's not, I saw him say something about the better beef calling him out. And I'm like, I responded to that. And I'm like, you owe me. I gave you recognition. I built myself up over all these years of battles and the last 3 years of my undefeated streak. And I put it all on the line against you in a short notice matchup. Give me a full camp. Give me smaller gloves. Give me less rules. Tell the ref to stay off my ass and let's fight.
All right. Well, perhaps that comes down the line. You have so much going on. You've got Dirty Boxing. Congratulations on the successful launch. Congratulations on everything that you have going on. We look forward to hopefully seeing you back in January, Knucklemania 5, and perhaps he does grant you that rematch with less rules. Always a pleasure, Mike. Really appreciate it. You're the man. We'll talk to you very soon. And again, congrats to you and the team.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. And shout out to my sponsors. Young LA is big with the UFC and with combat sports, and they big with me. And shout out Bucked Up, man. Get you some energy, dog.
All right. There he is, Platinum Mike Perry. The man, the myth, the legend. Great stuff as always from him. Covered a lot of ground there. Thanks for watching this video. Hey, before you go, do me a favor. Hit that sub button. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the little bell thingy as well. Leave us a nice comment or two. We appreciate you all very much.